Hey
everybody, welcome to Big's Big World. My name's Big and this is my big world.
Well,
boys!
I mean, we were wondering when we were going to be showing a Sonic game at some point, so here we are.
Of course,
A Sonic game? A Sonic game at Sage? What a novel concept.
And I mean, go figure. Like the first Sonic-related thing we showcased for this whole showcase stars Big the Cat.
Bet you good fishing around here.
It's a grand journey where, unfortunately, one day he was just hanging out at the northern part of this game takes place on a massive island, and as the engine goes,
Jesus.
it's okay. He moves like he does in Heroes, so big speed boost.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. If you're gonna do a 3D game starring Big, it probably would make sense to take your cues from Sonic Heroes.
Guys,
considering
I feel like before we start, we should all take a big breath.
Devil damn it.
They really knew what they were doing.
Fish
We were
for
placed
and
on
catch
this-
Froggy.
We were placed on this earth for one mission: to fish for and catch. Because you want to know why it's called Big's Big World? All of that, it is straight up freaking Breath of the Wild. Everything the light touches.
You want to go to that big old snowy mountain over there to the left? Big can go there.
You want to go to the city to the right? Big can go there.
So I'm gonna say this right now. I'm showing this game off because I unironically think this is one of the most ambitious Sonic projects ever. I think this is literally I think this is unironically the largest in-game map I've ever seen in a Sonic game.
There.
Isn't that the point?
And I genuinely think it's pretty impressive, some of the stuff they were able to put. Like they use different they use a combination of 3D modeling and importing models from other Sonic games. So you'll see familiar areas returning, and you'll see new areas and stuff.
Finding Froggy throughout this big landscape's gonna be another chore, but at least I'll get my cardio in.
Yeah.
There are upgrades you can get throughout the game even that will also improve your ability to do so. And because yes, that's the other thing. The second you it's the space station Arc and
there's the Arc, the blown up.
Wow,
you can go there.
What is that up there?
I think that's.
Oh, that's the Death Egg 2 from Sonic the Fighters.
Oh.
Wow!
Of all the fucking things to reference, that's kind of a reach.
I'm kind of wondering, can we see the vanilla Death Egg up there?
Yes, you can. I don't think I showed off in this, but I do remember my last one playing. It was also up there. So yeah, they have everything. It makes you realize how crowded the airspace must be up there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Neat.
And as you imagine, a big game.
You got a fish.
I got a fish!
Somewhere on this island, randomly placed in any of the bodies of water, is Froggy, and the game ends when you catch him.
Oh.
That's it.
These are some strange-looking fishies. I'm not gonna lie.
Come out, wherever you
Oh,
are.
and I also saw a Batnik there too.
Yeah, I don't know if you can catch the Badnik or not. Let's see. Is any one of these fish eager to become... You, maybe?
There you go.
We got him!
So would you say the fishing controls? How would you say they fare compared to the original ones in Adventure 1?
They're actually pretty good. They added one. I don't know if this was in the original. James can correct me if not. They added one nice quality of life feature. Say if you throw the fishing lure and it's clear no fish are near you or want to give you any attention, you can press B to immediately cast it back in. You don't have to reel it in manually.
I want to say that's definitely that was definitely not in the original game. You had to manually reel that thing back in.
Yeah, so you can immediately reset your position stuff, which is nice. And again, you can find all the upgrades from Sonic Adventure 1, like the float ring and stuff.
Oh, come on, baby, don't be stubborn. Big's gotta eat, too.
So I'll throw this out there and say that, if all you really cared about Big's story was the fishing controls and not really the story, this may be the greatest game ever to
Who
you.
cared about the story?
Because, yeah, I mean, it's Big's fishing stuff with your one ring, and
I'm gonna eat like a king tonight.
And again, this whole place is massive, so I can leave Green Hill Zone and its checkered board greens for more natural, foresty environments.
As you do.
I'm kind of curious, and I didn't expect you to comb the entire thing because you have a life, but I wonder. Hidden throughout this vast world, are there any other Sonic characters aside from Big and Froggy?
I'm actually not sure about that, but I will show you. But in this little start of our, Sage 2021 3D showcase, I will show off some of the stuff I found. There's a day and night cycle as you explore this massive island. The Froggy will not hide in the ocean, so we're good there. As I explored this forest, I came upon a familiar sight.
Hey, the Mystic Ruins.
Ooh, Mystic Ruins is here.
I mean, this is their usual hangout spot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wonder if,
So
actually, you're right. I wonder if his house can be seen here.
let's go. It
I'd be
was
shocked if
usually
it
off in
wasn't.
that. It was somewhere off in this direction. So that's the other thing someone pointed out is that like they did a pretty fun job of like importing like maps and models from previous Sonic games to try and like fit into one sort of cohesive overworld. It's so for that matter, I honestly think I'll be returning to this game not even to fish for Froggy. I just want to like walk around and treat this like a walking sim and just see all of the
I mean,
environments. And because there is some fetch quests, here it is.
Oh, and there's a power up too,
Let's see what we
just
got.
like in the original game.
It's the
power
power
rod.
rod.
Yay! I don't know if there's any other big ones. I know the float ring, of course, lets you float, but most of the rod upgrades will just increase its durability, so it can really take care of them fighting fish. Oh, and then we come out to the
You know what?
here.
Since this is pretty obvious what this is inspired by. Oh, well, they even brought in sand. Wow, even this place. But what was I gonna say? Do they have anything in? Do they have any sort of equivalent to the age-old golden tree poop?
That I'm not sure. I know there are items to be acquired, and the only thing I could think of that would be a tree poop scenario is if you did somehow catch every single fish in the game except for Froggy, and then catch Froggy. But that would take you weeks.
Oh, I'd imagine
Easily
so.
weeks.
I mean, considering
Also-
the fact that there is 900 pieces of shit to collect to get one giant piece of shit.
Also, Jesus
wouldn't be
Christ,
surprised.
we're even in the hidden base.
Yeah.
It's not that hidden
right.
when it's right in the open.
It's like right next door.
Right, so let's
Oh,
Those
Mr.
idiots
Egg?
from the.
Mr. Eggman, do you know where Mr. Froggy is?
So
Who
I'm gonna
let
show you
this? Who let this big fat cat in my secret lair? It's supposed to be secret.
But you left the door
build it
open.
open. But yeah, so again, massive open areas, all these maps everywhere, and this is the reason why I want to comb this place and go back to it. Is you can actually find emeralds,
The fucking chaos emeralds. You know what? That may as well be those may as well be our Korok seeds for the game.
and you get abilities with them.
Really?
So this now gives me like a sort of neutered version of Rivali's Gale whenever I want to, no cooldown.
Huh.
So I can just be like, select it and.
Whee!
So and you just do it,
Rivali's
so like
Gale is ready.
so things
Whenever
like that,
I
like-
want.
So this is why. Oh look, there's I think Tiny Planet. You can see Pumpkin Hill.
Oh, I
Let's
can
go
see
Pumpkin
Lost
Hill.
Hex. At least I think that's Lost Hex.
Lost
It
Hex.
was either Lost Hex. It was either Lost Hex. It was a small floating planet. Maybe Small Planet. There we go.
Oh, I see Pumpkin Hill went through a little bit of flooding since last time.
Sorry, I love this song.
Of course, no. So again, for the reasons like this, I genuinely think I'll be coming back to this game just because I want to see all the areas. I can tell you the stuff I cut out. They have the city from SA2's intro. They have a little island area that's basically all of the Chow Gardens mixed into one.
Well, that's cute.
Like the Hero, the Dark Garden, the
Oh
So
dear.
as far as what all you're showing off from the footage, are you showing off like Big getting every power up and then Froggy, or
No. Honestly, this is gonna be where I probably end the showcase. But just there's a lot, and I genuinely want to like come back and see how much they added to this game because it's so stupid, but I enjoy it. So now on to James's game.
All right,
Logan.
so it looks like next up we're going to be doing Frogun, which is a up and coming little 3D platform game that very much takes its cues from the age-old era of PlayStation 1.
I just imagine Big out of nowhere just showing up, just going, Froggy!
Literally.
I actually didn't even
we
realize
go from finding
that, yeah.
Froggy to finding a girl with a frog gun.
This is created by a DeviantArt user by the name of Mulligato. They put together all the models and the coding for it, so really cool to see another project of theirs getting off the ground. I think they did a Tank Cats.
Maybe? I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, with Frogun, you are a little girl who is part of a family of adventurers. And unfortunately, in their latest venture, they decide to leave their little girl behind for safety reasons. Unfortunately, it's been a while since Mom and Dad went away, and it's up to us to find them with our trusty Frogun, which, believe it or not, can actually talk.
It's a gun and a friend, and let's get on our adventure. So
like when you see this game,
yeah.
like right off the bat, tell me this doesn't remind you at least a little bit of Mega Man Legends.
oh, I can see that.
well, it definitely matches the not low poly, but like smooth anime texture, 3D physics. I was gonna say this remind me. Ooh, This reminded me of games like the old, like, they were like puzzle platformers, like, okay, only because I just saw a Game Grumps video on it, like things like Gubble or other isometric 3D, you know, puzzle platformers where like you're on a grid and you're moving around. But I will say that you know, the camera control is really nice, and you know, it's a clever, cute little way to iterate on a grappling gun. So James, take it away. What are your thoughts on Frog Gun?
I mean, I personally think I'm definitely liking what I've played of it so far. I haven't beaten the whole demo as of this recording, but I mean, color me impressed. It definitely does feel like a very solid little homage to a bygone era.
Okay.
That and the frog gun in itself is actually pretty versatile. Like, again, you can. It's very much just a lasso in gun form.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or not a lasso, just a grappling hook. What am I saying? It's a little grappling hook. If it could talk and it was organic.
You want to know something that I think, because of the whole like PS1 aesthetic for this, you want to know something that I think would be really cool for someone to make? Do you guys know what an EverDrive is?
That sounds familiar, but enlighten us.
Basically, it's this custom cartridge that you can make, where if you take an SD card of, like, say, an N64 ROM, put it in an EverDrive, you can actually plug it into an N64, and it can actually run like you're playing an actual N64.
Oh.
Huh.
I'm thinking, like, it wouldn't be something if they did something like that, but with a PlayStation 1.
I mean, I wouldn't be
pretty
surprised
cool.
if it hasn't been done. I'd be surprised if it hasn't been done already.
Right. We'll have to see. Matt, what about you? What do you think?
Looks fun so far. I don't know. I will fully admit, I am not. I think I told you guys before. I'm not the biggest Sage person. Like,
That's fine.
I am all for indie developers. They are great. I want more power to them. But I don't know. I just never got interested in Sage. But
Okay.
these games do look fun. They do look interesting. And this one does look very cute, I will say.
It is probably. I'm trying to think if there's any other. I think Game Jam also can be pretty big, but I want to say Sage may be probably the biggest. Well, you know, indie amateur games expo out there. I think now.
It's easily the most prolific of the bunch, especially
Yeah,
now,
so,
like
yeah.
especially in recent years where they've decided to actually showcase more than just Sonic games. Because yeah, there was once upon a time that's really all they really did, but now it's more or less full game. What you put in there, so long as it's something that you created, then it's more or less free game. Like, you could have a Mario fan game, you could have a Crash fan game, you could have your own little IP like this one.
Oh yeah, I guess it goes without saying. Maybe we should take a little bit of time to talk about that. There are some games that we aren't covering either because it was difficult to capture or we just weren't really feeling it. One of those games is an update to Project 64, not Project 64, Mario 64 Plus. And James, you have been trying out a little bit of its base version, or at least before this update, whatever it may be. What are your thoughts on that Mario 64 update?
Very solid.
On the-
Like, honestly, it does very much feel like what's the word? It really does feel like you're playing Mario 64 if it was, touched up just enough to make it still feel viable today.
Alright.
Not all of it going right back
So-
out and stuff. And
So what all is new with the Sage build of it this year?
They added on a few things, like being able to mostly some quality of life improvements, like just a few additional options. You can also change Mario's overall colors, and that'll be all we'll be showing the Frog Gun. So Logan, you take it away.
Sure thing. Last game of this video, and there'll be a couple more 3D games in the next video. Remember that there's a lot. For the next one, I'm going to show off a game called Outclass Hunter, which seems to be very much inspired by like the stories and stuff of Metroid, while also wanting to be kind of an action platformer. So first, we're going to have a little intro
I
dialogue.
don't know why
here.
it sounded like you were about to say Quackformer.
I was about to say.
Distress signal coordinates confirmed.
Oh, wait a minute.
On Alerabos 515 bio
No subtitles, sorry.
Well, no, not just that, but just like looking at that fox, I remember this one because my friend Landy was playing the demo, one of the earlier demos for this, and I remember. I don't know how much of a difference there was between that demo and the one that we have this year, but I remember he didn't really have a good time with that demo last year.
That's unfortunate. You're gonna have to tell me what he had problems with so we can compare and contrast then. With
A
our
lot of it had to
experiences.
do with the controls, like they were super floaty.
So I'll say that there's a little bit of floatiness to the running around, but I think they've tightened up a bit on your air control.
Okay, well, here's hoping, because I know that was definitely the biggest issue that he had with it.
Oh yeah, we talked over that whole thing, shit. We're going into this place because some evil ne'er-do-well has taken control of this
Not an evil
bioorganism
ne'er-do-well.
facility.
I don't mind an evil Hoozamutsit, but not an evil ne'er-do-well.
He's taking over the PA system.
You know, I prefer my bounties to have names. It makes paperwork that much easier.
Oh, no, not so.
Also, I assume you still have control over your character during this cutscene.
Yes. I could run around and stuff, but I wanted to just listen to him. Basically, he's not going to tell us what his name is unless we prove ourselves even worth his time. And there's a blind bounty because it seems like someone is trying to actually hide why he's here and what he's wanting to take over this facility for. So there may be some, Galactic Federation kind of, crap.
Not the
going down.
Federation!
It's always the Federation. The Empire welcomes you, and no, I've tried clicking on this stuff. I don't know how to make anything else happen here.
Federation
I'm
sucks,
sure that'll
by
be
the way.
worked on.
When we get the Metroid, the Federation, I'm going to complain about.
I know. So let's start off on our levels proper. So first off, I'll say, neat little idea. They also, in higher builds, they even advertise that this game will have ray tracing and stuff, so props to them.
Huh.
So I'll say right now, honestly, I thought it'd be a little bit of a deal breaker for me, but honestly, I think they did a pretty solid job with using the 2D sprite in a 3D space.
It's basically just a fancier looking Roboblast.
Kind of, yeah.
So yeah. Definitely
Although I
feels
can
like that way.
I can see where Hype's coming from, where it definitely looks floaty.
Yeah.
It's a little bit floaty, but I think so long as you know that, hey, cool, Brock. I think so long as you account for that, it's not going to be. It never got unplayable for me.
Oh,
That's
You
fair.
have your attack has a very wide. I'll say this: it's a little floaty, but I don't believe I've ever gone to a point where the game was like, "Holy crap!" You have to be super precise with your movements. The game is a little forgiving in that
Oh,
regard.
jeez.
It's just water artifacts. We'll just get out of here. Hang on.
Hey, to be fair, is it better or
Let's have a
worse?
jetpack.
Is it
Oh.
better or worse than the water effects from Mega Man Legends?
well, it
Well,
doesn't slow down to a
visually-
crawl, so I'm gonna assume this is better.
Just the visual was a bit. Yeah, this is the second level. So this stage demo will be covering 2 levels and a boss. So
Alrighty.
again, you have your jetpack,
Okay,
which I think helps with that.
okay, I'm going to assume that that's a recent feature, because I don't remember the jetpack being in the build Landy played.
So that's probably too, and maybe that's why they added the jetpack. Is that now this allows for more finite.
Yeah, because that
Little,
right there,
air changes.
it was this area in particular he was having the biggest trouble doing platforming with.
That definitely I can see. That I can definitely understand. So that's probably why then the jetpack helps a lot more to help adjust. And the cooldown is pretty handy for now. But yeah, so I'll say, what are your guys' thoughts on it now so far?
Oh.
I will definitely comment right off the bat that I can understand there are definitely 3D game types like this that usually do have a 2D character to in instead, and in some cases that may come across as a little out of place. I will unfortunately have to say this is probably one of the worst, not one of the better examples I've seen of that type, because the sprite itself, it's okay, but it doesn't really fit this aesthetic all that much.
That's fair. Maybe again, it could be standalone. I'm not sure what's going to go on. As we talked about in the last part, it's hard to tell if it's something that's a stylistic choice or a temporary placeholder. Boss time.
Oh boy.
A part of me doubts it's going to be a placeholder, considering that I do definitely recall this was still the game that also came out last year, and I want to say the year before as well. So it's very much intentional. Just, I don't know. I feel like the sprite work could be a little better. That and the gameplay, from what I'm seeing, does look pretty floaty.
Well, there we go. Demo's done at least.
Oh, so that's it?
Well,
We have a little outro dialogue here between her and the villain.
Don't get so cocky, Hairball. There's much worse in store.
Don't get so cocky,
hello.
Hairball. I will say the voice actors are actually doing pretty well.
Don't push it.
I think they're fun.
What's
Again,
that? I
mean,
couldn't hear you over me finding this game cartridge right on this rocky surface.
Not sure what these secrets are going to be used for, but yeah, again, it has an almost Doom mentality kind of where you can find secrets and try and complete levels as fast as possible. It's something that, again, I'm curious to see where it'll go. More power to the developers. Want to hope to see that we'll be able to learn more about this project in the future. So with that said, join us in the last part. Well, it won't technically be the last part of what we show off from the Stage Showcase, but it's the last part of our miscellaneous 3D game showcase. So join us in that part as we're going to be tackling the slightly larger 3D games that James and I looked at.
Yep. Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Boy.
Yep.